Yeah, here we go. So welcome everybody to today's sharing of Harmonize to Energize, and I believe it is September the 2nd, and we are in the astrological dimension of Virgo. As you know, I've now spent some time opening the possibility for those people born during that period to receive a blessing from the whole group if they want. So if there are any Virgos hiding around who would like a healing, I already know one person I'm going to offer a healing to, but if there's anybody else, don't be shy. As a group, we're all friends, and we can connect in this field, which is a multi-dimensional field, by the way. I don't know that it has a beginning or an end. Our mind likes to structure it so that we feel comfortable. Hi, Susan. But my experience of energy, meditation, moving through different layers, is there seems to be infinite dimensions, no beginning, no end. So feel comfortable that you're on an endless journey. It's kind of fun, isn't it? You get a few guidelines along the way, a few signposts, but generally speaking, I think we are all on our own unique journey. We're all our own unique pioneers. And there's some people who've studied quantum field and et cetera, who'll say that, you know, we have doubles who operate on different dimensions too. I don't know about that, but anything's possible in the field of all possibilities, as Maharishi Mahesh Yogi would quote often. And he would often say, knowledge is structured in consciousness. Mary would say that we simply accept it is as it is, and what it is infinite truth, infinite soul, infinite universe. It's all there. So we can see ourselves as explorers. So again, welcome everybody, and to anyone who's new, this is Harmonize to Energize. My name is Terry Matthews. I worked for 20 years for Mary Burmeister JIN SHIN JYUTSU, originally known as JIN SHIN JYUTSU Inc. In Scottsdale. I learned, I first found out about JIN SHIN JYUTSU in 1989 in England from the very first organizer of JIN SHIN JYUTSU in England, Editha Campbell. She's still kicking around, but she doesn't organize anymore. But I had the good fortune to live in the same house as her, or she had the good fortune to live in the same house as me, whichever way you want to look at it. And she introduced me to JIN SHIN JYUTSU, and I spent 3 years just doing self-help. Some people feel that self-help isn't as powerful, as efficacious as receiving a treatment. I would say that by and large, that depends on how well the individual person can bring down the energy from the different dimensions. It is true when you're working with different flows with another person, the effect is multiplied. But here we are in a group, and the effect is multiplied, squared, whatever as well. You know, there's the 100th monkey effect, the unified field effect, the 1% effect, which various teachers over the years have explored. Basically, it means the more the merrier. If you want to get biblical about it, when one or more are gathered in my name, I am there among them, basically means a higher level of dimension is able to intercede when there's more people connecting to it, if I'm making sense. So JIN SHIN JYUTSU is an art which is about harmonizing energy, chi or ki, as it moves through the body congruently or not. Generally speaking, 80% of the reasons why energy doesn't work or doesn't, move congruently through our energy field is because of crystallized attitudes. negative emotional responses. And I'm not judging anyone, but emotions can be harmonized or they can be disharmonized. And if you want to block your energy field, you can get into the different disharmonized attitudes, worry, fear, anger, sadness, or try to. Is it wrong to experience any of them? No. What is not beneficial is to hang with them forever. Have your experience, but don't allow them to crystallize. Let them go. And in JIN SHIN JYUTSU, we harmonize our energy field by placing our fingers, thumbs, back of our hands, palms of our hands on what we call safety energy locks. There's 26 of them left and right of our spines and in our arms. And when we place our hands on these energy locks, they will connect with the energy in the field and work towards releasing any soul, heart, mind blockages, which they connect to at different frequencies and vibrations, so that we can live our life in relative harmony. And I say relative because in duality, everything is relative. At the point when we, TikTok, the world we live in, when we have got the 26 safety energy locks all clear and pure and harmonized, they bring the energy collectively to harmonize as what we call we are one, or oneness in the spine, the main central, where all the major energy chakras spin and turn. That's a journey. If you have your 26 locks all in harmony, congratulations. You can teach the rest of us how you did it. But for now, smile, exhale and drop your shoulders. And we're going to continue with what I began a couple of weeks back, exploring the idea that the body also subdivides into bust line, waistline, and hip line dimensions within the dimensions within. So, it's there are different subdimensions, different fields of energy at different frequencies within us. Within the major field, there's a minor field, there's a flat field, there's a sharp field. There's all these different frequencies and vibrations. Bust line is what it says. It's safety energy locks helping to open up our chest area. Waistline, safety energy locks helping us to open up our waistline area. And hip line, the hip line. In terms of safety energy locks, there are many subdivisions that Jerome or I talked about in the body of that bust line, waistline, hip line. And last week we talked about the subdivisions in the head. Well, this week we're going to talk about the subdivisions actually on the torso, safety energy locks 13, 14, and 15. So let me share my screen. So there is the body. And as I said, we looked at the subdivision 20, 21, and 22 last week. And safety energy locks, opening up the frequency of energy down the front, are moving the energy downwards, descending. And here we have safety energy lock 13, facilitating the movement of energy in the bust line, safety energy lock 14, and 15. 3 subdivisions here. All right. So for those of you that those diagrams don't mean much, bust line, waistline, hippie line, hip line, okay, in your groin area. Go underneath your rib cage for the waistline and go on your nipple area and above for bust line, which leads me to the next part of the practice. Those of you that are familiar, we practice with the 36 breaths, which Mary Burmaster devised in order to give the mind a structure to experience energy as it spirals down from what she called 8th depth, the source, through 7th depth, the light, through 6th depth, the main central, the spine, to 3rd depth, the liver gallbladder area, where the energy begins to form all the other organs in the body. And there's variations on that theme too. But we do 4 sets of exhalation inhalations, 4 sets of 9 exhalation inhalations. And Mary used the understanding numerology in all this. 3 and 6 is 9. 9 equals end of a cycle, or represents end of a cycle, beginning of a new. So as we go through these exercises, we're moving from the present that we're in now to the next present, to the next present, to the next present. And if we're doing it with an open heart and a desire to let go of what we don't need, to surrender to the moment, chances are we'll be a different person than we were when we began. That's the vision. Transformation, harmonization. We don't want to say stuck in the old. We want to get the new lamp. New lamps for old. It's the Aladdin's cave. We want to clean up the lamp, the chakras, the energy pathways, all the different energy fields within us, so that they can conduct pure sound and light. Normally people talk about light. Well, yes, there's all the different colors of the rainbow, different dimensions. Yes, that's true. But there also is sound. And sound is actually a higher frequency than light. And in my conversations once with Walter Rodrigo Krause, who's an international JIN SHIN JYUTSU instructor and also has studied a particular form of Hindu tradition, I said to her, do you think ninth depth is the vacuum, the no thing, the nothing, the space which the Maharishi and the quantum field talk about? And do you think the eighth depth is the sound, the Om, which other traditions talk about, and the seventh depth is the light? And she looked at me and she said, yes, I think it is. But we don't always talk about that in JIN SHIN JYUTSU. But actually, more and more people are beginning to investigate all these different dimensions, from the vacuum, the ninth, the space, to the sound, the eighth, to the light, the seventh. So anyway, that's just food for thought, or food for reflection, if you will. Let's get on with the practice, because really, if you don't experience this, all these words are relatively meaningless. So let's begin. Sit up as straight as you can and just connect yourself head to toe, skin to bone, with the energy field around you. And that is this energy field in the room you're in, and this energy field with everybody else. We're all one, really. We might resist, but basically we're all connected. And it's like we're all connected by little strands of light. Looks like Christmas tinsel to me. Anyways, enough of that. So safety engine lock 13, you can place your hand on your nipple area. If that's uncomfortable, place your hands on the midpoint of the sternum, which connects in the straight line left and right to the nipple area, like that. And we're going to begin by exhaling, dropping our shoulders, and allowing the energy to go from safety engine lock 4, which is at the occiput, down the front through safety engine lock 13, 14, 15, down through 15 actually, all the way to safety energy lock 7, which is the big toe. That's the exhale. It goes beyond that to the crystalline level of the earth. Feel that connection, and then as you inhale, the energy comes back up from the big toe and then through the hip line again to safety engine lock 2 on the hip line, 15, all the way back up to 4 in a spiral. And the spiral is always going in a positive direction, because positive spirals represent harmony. Yeah. While we're talking about harmony, what are you thinking right now? You don't have to tell me, just be aware of it. Number 13 has a meaning: fertility and love thy enemies. So folks, a 1 and 3 is a 4, and a 4 lets in more light. If you have any situation in your life which you are struggling with. And the enemy is not just another being. Well, you could talk about it in terms of beings. It could be a lifestyle, it could be food you eat, it could be anything. But one thing we don't often do, or maybe you do, is forgive. And 4 gives more light to a situation, to the 13 area. Love thy enemies, forgive the situation, whatever it might be. Remember, knowledge is structured in consciousness. And if people are not aware, no matter how many times, or they don't have that dimension of consciousness, no matter how many times you ask them, or suggest to them, or offer them, or help them, if they don't have the level of awareness to appreciate it, they don't change. Or at least if they do, it's very slowly. Is that wrong? No. However, there are ways of helping people to transform sooner rather than later. Because as we can see with the planet, when transformation doesn't happen and things are left too late, the weather gives us a beating or something else happens, because the universe lives on the principle of the laws of cause and effect and homeostasis. It's looking for harmony. So let's look for harmony. Hold our 13s. You can do it palms like this, thumbs on them, fingers, whatever you want to do. Close your eyes, stun your cell phones, distractions. If you have a friendly cat or dog, it's okay, but just be aware that they might distract you, so you might want to show them the door flap. Otherwise, let them just be with you, simply be with you. And no particular way of breathing in terms of in the nose, out the mouth, in the mouth, out the nose, none of that. Just what comes naturally to you. And then just breathe out. Drop the shoulders. Feel that energy, if you can, spiraling all the way down to your feet and beyond. And as you receive the breath, you don't take a breath, you receive it. The energy moves up the back, again in a positive spiral, a clockwise spiral. Okay, 8 more times, here we go. And for those of you that are experienced or have experienced energy work of any kind, what we're listening for is a pulse, which represents the radial artery pulse. It's the blood pulse, which follows the energy pulse. And we're listening for it in our bust line, chest area, safety energy lock 13. And the more we breathe out and let go and receive, the more likely it is we will feel that energy pulse, that connection. But don't beat yourself up if you don't. It just means you may need to practice a little further, a little longer. And other safety energy locks, in fact, the next one, will often help the one previously if it's not that active. There's a pushing and pulling magnetism that goes on between the safety energy locks. And as you're exhaling, just observe the shoulders, the hip line, and your feet, and feel those important bridges opening up, allowing light and indeed sound to move through you all the way down to the earth, connecting with Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the great supporter. And then 360 degrees cosmic purified energy as we receive the breath on the inhale. Oh, please mute yourself. So when you complete the 9th exhalation, inhalation, if you do, just remain where you are and just observe where you are. No judgment. Observe what you're feeling. Here at the bus line 13, compassion, and of course JIN SHIN JYUTSU is an art of compassion, can grow when the 13s are released. Love thine enemies. And we're grateful to be able to marinate in this dimension of energy. So the next leg or step of the journey, we're going to move our hands down to the waistline, under the rib cage, safety energy lock 14. And that's all to do with mind stuff. And equilibrium, sustenance. It's not just equilibrium for the body, it's soul, heart, mind, and body. Sustenance, yes, it's not just about food, it's the chi, that's food as well. In fact, there are people who are breatharians. It's the sound, it's everything. Everything goes through all these energy locks. So we're going to hold our 14s, and you can hold them left on left, right on right, or you can cross over like this. That connects you to umbilicus flow and the mediator flow, which harmonizes both sides simultaneously. Here also does, but it isn't a crossover. This is more to do with the supervisor energy. Do what you feel comfortable, and then we begin the 9 exhalation inhalations. Allowing dirt and dust and greasy grime, as Mary would call it, to release on the exhale, so we can build something new as we reach the earth dimension. And then as we inhale, we receive cosmic purified energy to move up the spine in order to begin again. This constant letting go, building, purifying spiral of light, sound, and if you notice connection there between both 14s, that's a sign. And any blockages are beginning to move, beginning to transform into greater harmony. Are we looking for perfection? No. We're looking for movement. We want movement as opposed to stuck energy. Perfection is a concept of the mind, I believe. The soul, on the other hand, just knows infinity. So if you're a person who tends to get a little anxious from time to time, the 14s, generally, guardians of our sustenance, will help transform any kinds of worries, anxieties, where we're churning over, like we would churn over food in the small intestine, stomach. And they support the kidneys, which are just tucked behind them. So, when you reach the 9th exhalation, inhalation, again, just be an observer. Notice how and where you feel, if you do. Sense of gratitude that we've gone 18 breaths along from where we were. So after we've marinated a little bit there, we go to the 3rd level, hip line, and the 15s, which most people are familiar with. Fill your hearts with joy and laughter. Why not? The 15s will unblock the pathway to allow the liver, kidney, and spleen energy to ascend the front of the body. And without that bridge being released, we could feel very, very out of balance, very, very stuck. Energy may not go down and it may not go up. We want to experience joy, don't we? So let's keep these 15s open, and you can put your palms up, back of the hand down, hold with your thumbs, hold with your fingers, whichever's comfortable. You can do one at a time. That's true of all the safety energy locks if two at a time isn't working. But we like to have two to represent the connection in duality. And we begin again, 9 exhalation inhalations. And be aware if the energy is or doesn't appear to be connecting to your feet and to the earth. It's important that we ground this energy. We feel connection between heaven, the head, and earth, the feet, via the bridge, the 15s, filling our hearts with joy and laughter. Okay, when you come to the 9th exhalation, inhalation, marinate a while, observe, feel, connect. And then we return to the beginning, more or less, back to the heart, bus line level, with giving ourselves a hug, back to that level of compassion, the art of compassion, longevity, 13. Learning to love our enemies. Fountain of youth, that's the longevity aspect. See, when your heart is clear or pure, it feeds all the cells. Those of you that know JIN SHIN JYUTSU will notice how many pathways all go into the heart. and out from the heart. Ultimately, that's the big non-secret secret. So your thumbs are underneath your shoulder girdle, your fingers on the side of the shoulder blade, small intestine area. Here under the shoulder blade, safety energy lock 22, lung. So we're opening the bust line area generally. And let's do our 9 exhalation inhalations. Again, if it's tricky to hold both, take one hand away. You can put that on the left upper thigh, high 1, or right upper thigh, high 1. And see how you're feeling throughout your body. See how your heart is connecting to every level of your being. Allow the forgiveness and gratitude to percolate your being. More energy given to those aspects will regenerate us, will keep us healthier. As I said earlier, 80% of ill health or disharmonized health projects can be traced back to a crystallized, disharmonized attitude. So when those attitudes arrive, breathe out. Just that one action alone begins to disconnect you from the charge. Practice turning off the TV, the news in particular, because that'll have a tendency to charge you up again. There's very few programs that are willing to talk about harmonious news. CNN have an email they send me there. They collect all the things that they consider positive and harmonious in the world. And you can pick that up once a week and read about some harmony for a change. All right. So here we are. We've done our 36 breaths. Hopefully everyone feels some peace. Maybe different aspects of the safety energy locks have fed into their energy field. Maybe you're feeling more forgiving, more sustained, or more joyful. Or maybe not. Maybe you're still on the journey to become. We are, after all, journeying at our own unique pace. No judgment, which brings us to Virgo. When Virgo is disharmonized, the small intestine energy is disharmonized, we can be a little, there's a tendency to maybe be a little overcritical, Great designers and engineers can be Virgoan, or at least that can be uppermost in their being. But sometimes it can be a little like missing the forest for the trees, so focusing on the little bits. And in astrology, at least, they teach the opposite sign is the Redeemer. So Pisces, opposite sign of Virgo, tends to see the whole forest, but has to learn from Virgo how to discern. So it's all a learning process. Anyway, good things. Virgos can analyze. They can use that small intestine energy to break things down into smaller parts, subdivide, and get down to the nitty-gritty. They also have a desire to be very pure of heart and mind. That's a noble spirit. That's a noble desire. I think someone told me that Mary Magdalene was born under the sign of Virgo. Anyway, the whole concept of purity is here. Purity of soul, heart, mind, and body. So if anyone here today is indeed a Virgo, or in fact Tom, there you go. Tom, would you like to join me and Monica? I don't
Yes,
hear
I
you.
would.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. All right. And where's Monica gone? Monica. Oh, there you are.
I am here.
Yeah, I found you. Yeah, I can't actually. Yeah, because you're not actually showing me your face. I can't actually. So yeah, I can't actually show you with Tom and I. Maybe if I made you a co-host, I could. Let's have a look at that. Maybe that will do it. I'm still learning about this. No, never mind, Monica. Everybody, welcome to Tom. Hi, Tom. Well, Tom. Is that one of those fancy displays that comes with Zoom? That
Yeah,
you got?
it's a beach that I'm not at.
Yeah, it's beautiful, very peaceful. We've got the palm tree in the ocean. Is that supposed to be Hawaii?
I think so.
Yeah, beautiful. And Monica, so folks, this is that opportunity where we connect together in the field we're in. And I like to say the jumper cable palm is like this. We're connecting all to one another, little fingers all the way around. And Tom and Monica are going to place their hands in the 15s. There you go, palms up. And they're going to receive the jumper cable energy. Oh, Diana?
Yeah.
Where are you? Let me find you. Oh, Monica, I found you now. There you go. I got Monica. I've now got to find Diane. Oh, there you are. All right. So we have a bunch of Virgos here. Beautiful. But actually, it doesn't matter. We're all going to connect. These three beautiful people are going to actually place their hands in their palm. Sorry, hands in their hip with their palms up.
I was going to say, wait, I know I'm analytical, but I don't get that.
Yeah, really. Yeah, there you go. That's the Virgo riddle for the day. There you go. And you're going to receive, and the rest of us are going to give. So everybody who is not being spotlighted, congratulations. This is your big opportunity to serve. And whatever the project is, or whether it's just the birthday, everyone Just offer your heart and soul, your compassion, your breath, your energy to come through you. The jumper cable comes in around about the solar plexus energy center, and then up through the arms, and then out through the palms and fingers. Just relax, drop your shoulders, breathe out, feel your connection with the earth, and let the harmonizing begin. Just relax your shoulders. You don't have to connect your thumb together. The energy is going to do it anyway. Just allow yourself to relax. Feel that energy flowing through you, because you're getting a blessing too, as it goes to our three beautiful guests here today, resonating with the Virgoan field of purity, discrimination, discernment, analysis. And recipients just receive. And an open 15 and an open heart. Just receive. And givers, you will generally know when the person, animal, or being has received what they need. The energy will give you a sensation of withdrawing, spiraling, but withdrawing its intensity. And it's important because harmony requires a certain quotient. And after that, it's not going to make a lot of difference. There's a tendency sometimes with healing work to think we have to do as much as we can for as long as we can. We can do as much as we can, but the timing is not ours. So I'm beginning to feel the need to bring this particular part of the session to a close. And I'm just bringing my palms together like this. It's up to you. This is, to me, a sign of gratitude. Gratitude for the people that have joined us and to be allowed to jump a cable to them. It's a very sacred experience, I feel. We're connecting soul to soul. So, as you feel the energy just returning, just relax, see how you feel. All of you that have connected here, you will have felt something unless you didn't. So, one at a time. Tom, how did you feel?
Superb.
Wonderful. Were you working with any particular project or just it's your birthday?
Just feeling better.
Okay. Beautiful. Well, thank you for allowing us to share.
Thank you.
Monica, how do you feel?
I'm feeling really good. I felt it in my chest. It was great.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
No, thank you for letting us give to you or to receive the energy to share with you. And Diana.
My heart rate sped up at first. Like I could really, really feel everybody's energy. And then I just calmed way down and took it in and was so grateful. And I didn't analyze anything while I was doing it. It's really rare.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't mean to offend the Virgos amongst us when I talk about over-analysis, but Diana is aware of that.
So
That's okay.
it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah, it's okay. But our friends, the Pisces, allow us to look to the forest as well. So we kind of, it's all a balance. It's all harmonizing. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you all joining me today. I'm going to take your spotlights away and then show you all what's happening in the JIN SHIN world. Here we go. Okay, so JIN SHIN JYUTSU, as we know, has websites. And coming up tomorrow, Susie Plattner, who is a new JIN SHIN JYUTSU instructor, is teaching reversing and increasing the depths, exploring the last flows of text 1. Generally speaking, these 2-hour webinars are for students who've at least done one 5-day class, but from time to time, we do get students who have maybe not studied anything or have studied just self-help. It's up to you. There will be opportunities to ask questions. Here's all the information. Register there or by PayPal. And yours truly and Debbie Rappaport. And actually, Lisa Gritton will be joining us as well to host you. And on October the 14th, young Sarah Harper is going to be teaching the art of being a practitioner in Talent, Oregon. All the information is there. This will help you develop confidence in being a practitioner of JIN SHIN JYUTSU, if that's what you want to be. Here are all the details, prices, and Debbie is organizing that with Kari or Carrie Voorhees. There you can register today. If there's any classes you've missed, here are all the links. Click on them and all the details will be available to you. Okay. So just another quick reminder to everybody that now I'm working independently of Mary Burmeister JIN SHIN JYUTSU. I do work still as a host for the webinars. And as you can see, I will tell you what's going on in their world as well. However, if you want to contact me direct and you want to present on a Friday, we haven't had a mystery presenter since Mark, but we will. I've been told that one of our instructors is going to come on shortly, so we'll look out for that one. But if you want to present anything to do with any experience you've had with the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU, whether it be with other people or animals or plants, please drop me a line. I've put it in the chat room there, H2E, Harmonize to Energize at gmail.com, but it's abbreviated H2E. I'll put it again, why not? And I know that there are some people, some of you, maybe you've even got friends who haven't even been on here, but I know some of you have stories, you've been practicing a long time. I hope you don't find me too intimidating or anything, because coming on really is a breeze. I'll walk you through it and you just tell me if you got any slides or anything, and we put them up as we go along. And really, it's just your opportunity to share. It doesn't have to be, you know, some magnificent, unbelievable healing. It can be a very, very innocent and simple thing. In fact, the simpler and more innocent it is, often the more attractive it is, because people can understand it. They can relate to it. We're not looking to impress people. Rather, we're more looking to impress upon them that JIN SHIN JYUTSU is an art that can help and help us harmonize different aspects of our life at different times, all the time. Some people see this as their spiritual path. Whatever it is to you, it's available and it's taught, and it has produced testimonials over the years where people have been able to harmonize all kinds of labels. So don't think about it too much. Just get the feeling in your heart, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind sharing, and then just drop me a line, hit me an email, and we'll arrange for it. And that'll be that. So I wish you all a beautiful rest of the day, weekend, rest of the week until next Friday. As I said right at the beginning, I believe someone will be joining us next week, but seeing is believing. So if we see them, we know it's real. But hopefully we'll have a mystery guest. If we don't, it's yours truly. See you tomorrow, those of you that are queuing up to be with Susie Plattner and Debbie Rappaport, myself, and Lisa Gritton from San Diego will be your hosts. And we'd love to have you on board. And 2 hours of reversing and increasing the depths, plus all your, well, most of your questions. And if we copy the chat room, no doubt, Susie can have a look at them and decide whether she'll want to write to you as well. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.